In this video, I'm going to show you how to take an old, outdated entertainment center that I had and take it to the whole new kind of chic, rustic-y vibe thing that's super in. So if you want to learn how to do that, well, then follow me. What's up, Glue Dots? I'm Elaine, the Midnight Crafter, and today is kind of a craft project, but a lot of people these days are kind of redoing some furniture or finds or trash to treasure things that they're finding. And I had an entertainment center at our cabin that I just did not like for the decor that I had. And so my husband and I went out looking for a new piece of furniture. Oh, everything that we liked was about $1,200. And so we were thinking about trying to figure out which piece we liked the best and went home to take measurements. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this thing anyway. So I'm going to try painting it and see if it doesn't work, then that's okay. We'll give it away, throw it away, whatever. But I was actually pleasantly surprised. And the funny thing is, every step of the way, he kept telling me, okay, it's good now, right? We're done. And I said, no, one more coat. And then he says, okay, so now it looks good. We're done, right? I said, no, we're not done yet. One more different color. So I kept going through that 4 different times. And I just said to him before the 4th time, I said, every step you've told me that. Will you just trust me and let me do my thing, okay? So by the time it was finished, he actually said, you know, I underestimated you. This looks pretty good. So I was really happy about that. I told him since I saved him $1,200, because it only cost me like, I think $10 to redo everything. But since I saved him all that money, I told him that now I was going to have to spend it on stuff to redecorate. So that's what I did. That will be another video to follow this one. Just to kind of nothing big, just a little redecorating. You can see my before and after. So stay tuned for that video too. In the meantime, if you enjoy my videos, all I ask, one simple little favor, give me the thumbs up and leave me a comment. It is so nice to hear from you all. I love it. I know I haven't been posting as frequently as I used to, but I really do. I miss everybody and I love hearing from you all. So also hit that subscribe button down below. I don't know which side it's on because it depends on what camera I use. But anyway, it's down below. That red thing that says subscribe. When you hit that, it will subscribe you. Duh. And okay, getting goofy. And if you hit the bell next to it, it will inform you every time I upload a new video. So with all that being said, and I almost don't forget every time. Don't forget also to go down to the description box and there's a link there to enter to win my drawing for the little bling keychain owl that I do the first of every month. You only have to enter one time, so if you've already put in your email address before, no worries, you don't have to do it again. You're good to go. So, alrighty, we got it all covered, and I think right now I'm going to show you what I did to that entertainment center. Let's do it. So now is the fun part. You see this? And he just beat the heck out of it to make it look rustic. And Lauren, so if you have any aggressions, now's the time.
Go through the base as well.
I'm ruining my hammer. My cute little girl hammer. Oh, I broke my shoe. Okay, that's all right. Cinderella lost her slippers. And you can take pliers to it, anything, chain, old, anything that you can beat this up with. There's something strangely satisfying about this. Okay, so now what I'm doing is doing a little bit of the painting part. And how I'm doing that is painting on with a really rough brush, not worrying so much about how it goes on. We sanded, we distressed, we banged it up. So fun. And now putting that on and taking a rag and wiping it off. So you can wipe as much or as little. If you want to add more in places, you can. And you can almost like sand it and make it chippy looking with your towel. See, I'll try and show you a little bit closer up. So this is kind of the effect that we're getting here on the top. And I'll show you how that works. I'm having to hold the camera, so sorry about that. But we're putting paint. And still you do want to go with the grain of the wood. You can see my distressing with my hammer. So you go with the grain of the wood. Whoops, sorry guys. And then take your rag and wipe as much or as little as you want. So if you want a really chippy look, you can do that. You can let it dry a little more if you don't want it that much. And you can always kind of lightly go over things. So it's a little hard to record and paint, so that's kind of going to give you the idea of how to do it. And I'm going to keep going, and then I'll show you how it's coming along and as I get a little more done. So it's a little easier to show you on a flat surface over here. So your paint, you put a good amount of paint on, but don't worry about it covering super well, because you're going to be going in there and wiping it off. And you only want to let it sit on there for a very short time, because once it dries too much, it's really hard to rub off and you're just going to be very tired. So you can see there's a lot of streaks. I have one of these really cheapo brushes, and then I'm taking my rag and just going through and wiping. Trying really hard to keep this in the screen for you. And if you use like a lot of pressure with one finger, you can get certain areas to be a little more distressed, like over here. And try also make sure that your rag is staying, my rag is probably too big for this job, so it's sort of messing up the parts behind. The hardest, trickiest part is up here around this, at this top edge. So you got to kind of get in there with your fingers. But look, the thing with this is don't be afraid of it, because you can always add more paint, clean off more paint. You know, it's nothing you have to be set and stuck with if you don't like the way something is looking. So you don't want to put a ton of paint, as I said, because otherwise it stays wet too long and then it just smears, which gives a different look, which is fine also. But if you're really going for that chippy kind of a look, like you're seeing over in here, then you do want to sort of go with a little less paint on your brush. Medium amount of paint. Now, the other thing I wanted to note is that up here on the inside on the top, because it's not something people are going to see, I pretty much just did like dry brushing. So, because it's really hard to rub when it's up above your head like that. So there's a couple spots, say like back here, where I feel like it's a little too much. So I'm just going to lightly go over it with my paintbrush. So this is something to just play with. Don't be, as I said, don't be afraid of it. Just go for it. I'm going to carry on, but I thought I'd give you a little update there. So here it is so far. This is the first layer, I should say, of color, well, white anyway, and I'm liking the way it's looking so far. I'm excited. So the next thing that I'll be doing is I will be using probably a little bit of this color here, which is kind of a turquoisey color, and then I also have this sample one, and it's kind of a dark green color too. I'll try some of that, and then, I don't know, I'm just finding paints that I had. I had this mustardy color. That might be a bit obnoxious, so I may not do that, but definitely going to try this one and see how it goes. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Look, my hands. Woohoo! I'm having fun. My husband was making fun of me as he says, my feet look like bobbit feet, and they're really dirty. So bobbit feet meaning swollen and dirty and the whole thing. Anyway, all right, guys, I'll catch you on the next layer. Okay, here we are, day 2. I have an old house paint that well, it's not old, but it's actually the color of our cabin. And so that's this one here. And then this one here is actually one of the bedroom walls that I painted in there. So I'm trying a few different things to see what I like. And then I also had this green. So kind of, I think I'm going for that, which what I did is put the brown paint on and rubbed it the same way we did the whole cabinet piece. And then I went over it with some of the blue and then a little bit of green in there as well. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on. And here is the piece today, ready to go. So I'll keep you posted. So these are the shelf pieces right here, and I'm going to start with that just to see how that goes, how it looks. I figure if I don't like it, this would be the place to figure that out on the shelves. So I'm putting just a normal amount of paint as if I'm painting the piece, and then try rubbing that off. Oh yeah, so I think that's going to be the plan, but I need both hands to do it. But that's what I'll do. I'll show you the next step. So here's the 3 shelves using that method. This is the brown, how it's coming along, working and wiping. So what we're doing for the door to change it up, this had glass in it originally here. We took out the glass, and now we are putting in these little, what are they called? I don't know what they're called. What does it say? Furniture nails. And we're putting them all the way around this edge here. And then we're going to continue and get this painted too. So what we did is we put the corner ones in first to sort of line up with the corners. And once we did each of the corners, we put a measuring tape across, measured out how many it was going to be spaced out, and then drew a very, very thin pencil line that's not going to show because it's going to get covered with brown paint. That way we're sure that we have all of these lined up like we want them. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is go with a little bit of this darker green, and then I'm going to rub it with a wet cloth and see how I like that. And if I do, then we'll carry on. If not, then we will plan B. Oh, I'm kind of liking that. I don't know how well you can see that, but it looks kind of cool. So it looks like that's the next step. Okay, so the way I'm doing this is dabbing a little bit lightly into the lid. You can see there's not much. And then just randomly, very haphazardly putting it on and wherever. And not even that much, just very, very lightly. And then I've got my wet rag here and just going through and wiping it off. That way it's adding just a bit of green hint in there, but not leaving actual brush strokes or anything like that, or any definite green. Just some hints of it through there. Not sure if it even shows up on camera, but it's there. So here it is with the green on there. It's a very dark green. It kind of, and it's a little hard to tell here with the shade and stuff, but you can see some variation going on there. And the next thing I'm going to do is put on this nice turquoisey light blue color. And same method. So I ended up putting like kind of globs of the light blue, and then with a wet rag, wiping it on there. And we decided to do just the doors and kind of leave that frame part as it was, except for the sides. I did add, they were looking a little plain to me, so I did add a little bit to the sides too, and the top. And this is what we got. So my next project at this point is going to be to look to find a piece of wrought iron, some decorative piece to put in here where the glass was, because I don't want to put the glass back in. I feel like we're going for more of a rustic look. You can actually look with my deck thing. It almost looks like those are the bars are in there. But that's it for now. I'll show you it in the room. We're going to be putting it in there. Actually, what I am going to do is just distress a little bit with some sandpaper on some of the edges. And I think that will be my last step. It's definitely a work in progress. So give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying this video. And hey, leave me a comment too. Let me know what you would have done. I am totally an amateur at this. This was totally winging it. So if you know how to do some of these techniques in a different way, that's a little easier. I kind of tried all different kinds, complete dry brushing, dry rag, wet rag. I did a little bit of everything on this piece. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying it. Don't forget the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join the Glued Off family. All right. So I'm using a fine grit sanding paper and just sanding along all of any edges, anything that has an edge to it. And that gives it just a more, you know, rustic, finished, unfinished, I guess, or old look, finished, unfinished, I don't know, whatever, but you know, the look we want. First thing I'm going to be doing on these is cutting off these little stick pieces and these extra little hinge, whatever attachments, whatever they're called. And I'm going to actually try using my hot knife to cut these off, but they do cut with scissors quite well and everything. I don't know what possessed me to want to use my hot knife, but I'm going to give that a shot and see how it goes. I may end up liking the way scissors look better, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. That actually cut off really cleanly, so I think I'm just going to carry on and do the rest that way too. Okay. I would... My husband's making fun of me in the background. So I'm going to... It's really hard to do this, record and watch at the same time what I'm doing. This is all I did is I cut in the line first and kind of let it work its way through. And then we just bent it a little bit like that and cut off the excess. That's that. That one's not quite as straight as my other one was, but that's because I'm holding the camera too. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to do the rest of them like that, and then I'll show you what's next. So I got all the little ends cut off and the little things here cut off. Now what I'm working on for the project that I need it for, I'm going to take out every other one of these on one, and on the other one I'm going to take out the opposing one. So I'll be taking out this one and this one, and then for me what I'm going to be doing is overlapping them like this, and they're going to be going in the window of the entertainment center. So I'm going to get those done. Sorry guys, I don't have a tripod, so I'm having to do this all with my hands, so I'll have to show you it after I get it done. But the way I cut these pieces out was I did flip it to the back side, and I used the hot knife and went in right down to there and went into there, and it turns out beautifully from the front. You can hardly even tell that I cut anything out. So I really like the way that it came out from that aspect. Okay, so I'll show you as soon as I get those done. So the next step I'm going to be doing is gluing these together with my hot glue gun, and this is kind of the way I'm going to glue them together, because I kind of like the way that looks, and it fits perfectly in the window of the entertainment center. And there it is. I put it in place. I just kind of squeezed it in there. What I'm going to be doing is gluing along the edge, the two side edges, because right now it's just pressed right into the wood area and it fits. And I'm loving the way this piece transformed. What do you guys think? If you like my videos, give me a big fat thumbs up and leave me a comment. And best of all, subscribe to my channel. We love having you join the Glued Off family. All right, guys, hope you like it. And I'll be transforming this room because my next job is to paint everything. I'm such a dork. Anyway, I'll be painting all that, and hopefully that's today's project. So we'll take it from there and I'll show you when I'm done. Hope you guys like that. It was a little hard to film and apologize about the sound and the direction and everything, but it was kind of an impromptu last minute thought to tape it for you. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled because my next video coming out will be a really short, quick one showing the before and after of the room. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.